Yeah, best of luck to everyone. It's going to be an interesting game. I don't know if the Changeling Pretender is going to be able to capitalize on it. It blurs out, guys.
We are
The
sorry,
focus, yeah.
friend Celestia.
Unfortunately, the camera blurs.
It is, yeah, with the tiny bit of movement, it's just unable to focus quickly enough, sadly. So we apologize for who we got the names of incorrect. Actually, let me check something. I might have a communication channel that is allowing me to know these names. Nope, doesn't look like I'm seeing anything on either of those, sadly. So we apologize that we're missing your names. Forgive us. We're trying. We will attach names to decks later on, so everybody will know. Everybody will know who is who and who was who. We got Final Sight 618 in the chat saying Scootaloo is an easy main to counter. I kind of agree. Again, if it gets ahead, if it's able to double every turn, it continues to be able to double every turn if you're not able to stop it. I know that at my regionals, I was running just a mess of a deck. It was very strange. But in one game that I was playing, I had 2 Lotus Blossoms from Absolute Discord out. My opponent doubled, and I was able to use one of them to pull out a backup Vocals Fluttershy, which allows me to turn a main over. I turned over my opponent's Scootaloo. And with the second one, I was able to pull out a Captain Jack, board wiped them, minus the one friend. On my turn, I was able to belly flop that last friend, so they were they had big problems out. You need to confront with Scootaloo to flip. They had an unflipped Scootaloo. They had no friends on the board. I was able to just drop 2 troublemakers, and it was just kind of game. They were at like 11 points before I even scored, and I was still able to win that just because if Scootaloo does fall behind, if something bad does happen, she has a heck of a time recovering.
She kind of crumbles really hard.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is just like turn 2 troublemakers, or turn 1 troublemakers. If your opponent gets turn 1, you also suffer really hard. That's one of the reasons why, like, it's like you gotta put those 2, maybe even 3 Kevins in with whatever deck you're building, and it's rough.
Okay, so we're seeing gyros on the left here already. We're seeing, I think I saw Fashion Week. I think we might. Our stream cutting out on us. Huh.
Okay, we got a recovery. Okay.
Alrighty, we're back.
All right, so
we got gyros on the left there. I think I saw a Fashion Week in hand. We've got a Trading Traditions.
What if he really is running purple white?
That'd be
like,
funny. We got funny. At least 3, maybe even 4 colors on our left player's deck. Did we confirm that it's blue pink for our right player?
Yeah, it's definitely blue pink.
So we got Scootaloo. Trading Traditions is, I think, an interesting choice for that Scootaloo main. I would have expected Concerning Cutie Mark. Only 3 to confront. Very easy to do. Just move Scootaloo, drop whatever other friend.
This seems like another take on purple white.
Think so?
Yeah, okay. I think so. Because I saw a gyro and I saw some. Actually, it might actually be purple white yellow.
Think so.
Potentially.
That's very possible. That is my go-to main the few times I've tried to build that.
Yeah, because I saw the Opalescence. And that's a big one for that deck.
Is that a Dance Fever on the front there?
Yes.
I am blind, so I cannot see.
Yeah, it's a Dance Fever. It's a Dance Fever.
So we're looking at songs. So yeah, that may very well be purple, white, yellow. So that would be cool. I really like what that deck is supposed to do. I've had trouble making it work myself. I think it can. I just don't think I'm fantastic at building it.
It's interesting. I know I made. Oh, look at that. That's some old world.
Got some old tech there. Castle of Friendship, 3 cost. You can exhaust it to gain an AT.
It's not actually old world. It's
yeah,
like 2
really.
sets back. I think of it as old world because we never.
Back in my day, we had changed it. We didn't have Paper Twies and Factory Jacks. We had Castle of Friendship.
Even though Paper Twi was in the High Magic thing.
Final Sight saying Breakdown, DJ Breakdown is totally the anti-Scootaloo main card. I completely agree. If one of those is out, that can do a lot of damage to Scootaloo. They either move and die, or they don't move, at which point you're not using your main's ability, so you might as well not have one almost.
That breakdown. I'm actually curious if maybe some players might have teched that into...
Shaky cam, saying the camera might be a little shaky.
Yeah, it is a tad shaky.
Not sure if it's the table wobbling or if it is the camera hanging down a little bit. Sadly, not being there ourselves at the moment, we can't really affect that one too much, so we'll kind of have to deal a little bit, I suppose. Yeah, I've been to the venue myself before. It's a very wide open room, kind of cool. You know, a lot of cement floors, cement walls, so it's possible that there's just a little bit of a breeze passing through, or something might have gotten bumped. It hasn't been too shaky up till this point, I don't think, but so it should correct itself here in a moment, hopefully.
I missed the opportunity to make the joke. I mean, 2 sets ago, that's like a year and a half.
Is that a joke, though?
It's not.
All right, so we see the Castle Friendship out. Again, we got double trading traditions, Scootaloo main.
So when I was looking at white control, I was thinking of Castle of Friendship and also that the fashion whatever, the one that gives you an AT if you have more accessories than your opponent.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was like trying to work that out.
You see Dance Fever come out.
All right.
That is his opponent's problem. Confronting if there are double trading traditions, confronting your opponents is pretty much always the right call. It's A, easier to do, and B, if you can make a face-off happen over there and deny them their color sooner, all the better.
Yeah.
Pretty much next to never the correct choice to play at your own, unless your opponent's, playing a control deck. Maybe they've got an enormous starting problem, something like that. But otherwise, pretty much always going to go for that opponent's traditions as your opening move. I think it's kind of interesting we saw the Dance Fever come out, and we're not seeing a follow-up. We're just seeing the friend come out. It does look like there's 2 AT left out still, so we might see the main move up. Oh, actually, okay, it's
Scootaloo.
Celestia's turn, we'll call him. So we're seeing the Scootaloo move up, again, moving it to his opponent's. Problem, there's opponent's trading traditions there, always a good move. Soren come out, is that right?
Both of these players seem to be a little unfamiliar with certain cards.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. Soren, pretty common card, I think.
Yeah, and it is actually kind of nice to see. I don't know a good way of putting it, but like players that don't know every card or whatever, that level of player or that type of player, it's kind of interesting to just see what they do with like, oh, that's new. I've never seen that.
I have to figure out a situation.
Figure out a thing.
I think that's part of why I've totally said it before that pre-releases are always my favorite events, because even though I'm the type to check we both are the type to check the OCR and learn all those cards ahead of time. It's always interesting being like, oh, okay, I didn't think of that interaction when I was reading. These people don't know what these cards are. I don't know what these cards are. I don't know what they could have in hand. I don't know what they pulled. I don't know how many copies. Okay, they built this color, so there's a chance that they got 2 of this uncommon or 3 of this uncommon, and that's why they built this deck. It's always just real fun to figure out. Oh, very cool. We see Lyrabon come out.
Yep. That has been showing up in a few decks now, and it is a pretty strong card. There's a lot of really good drag you can do with it.
It puts a counter on another friend you control, and when you move either of them, you may move the other.
I don't remember.
I think when you move Lyrabon, you may move a friend with one of those friendship counters, is I think what they're called. And the cool thing is, if you've got multiple Lyrabons and multiple friends, if you move a Lyrabon, you can move not the one that you targeted, but any friend that you have that has one of those counters on it. So you can choose on the fly.
Ooh, we got Spoons.
You got Spoons.
Spoons is pretty good. It's a pretty good card.
Spoons in hand.
I'd play it.
Pretty strong card. Taxes all of your opponent's cards with 2 cost or less. So that's pretty nasty if they come out.
2 cost or more. No, less. You're right.
Yeah, so anything pretty nasty. Oh, thank you for showing us your hand. We got a Berry, we got a Pinkie Pie growing up, another Soren in hand. That was all I caught there.
He's in a good He's in a good state right now.
He's in a pretty good spot.
He has a lot of strong options.
We're seeing that Spoonie come out. I think that is a very correct choice. Pink Blue likes its real cheap cards, so by taxing each of those by 1 AT, that could slow down Pink Blue a lot.
Yeah. What some players may do is they see like a lot of the expediency, like or maybe that's not the right word, but they kind of see the immediate ramifications of what could happen, but they don't consider how later on that can really benefit you. Like it can add up over time. Those very small plays where it's just like, oh wait, this actually slowed me down like 2 turns, as opposed to if he saved and then did one thing and slowed me down 1 turn.
Yeah. That is one thing I like about this game a lot. There are a lot of cards that just have invisible adding effects. If you're denied a draw, you know, oh, I don't have a card in hand, but you're not thinking yourself, you don't really think, oh, that could have been the Thunder Lane I needed, that could have been the Wonderbolts Wrap, the 2-bits I needed. You just know, I don't have a card. But by being denied those cards over the course of the game, you're denied AT, you're denied moves, you're denied options, and that slowly adds up into victory for the taxing player.
It's true. And that's one of the things, right, is there's like almost invisible things that your opponent can be doing to you, particularly with something like the Sweetie Belle, the orange-white Sweetie Belle, is you don't know what they've done to you. All you know is you know what they might have gotten rid of, but you don't know what they let you. I guess you do see what they let you keep, but it's just, I don't know what's happening right now, so all I can do is just watch you pick a thing.
Oh, very strong. We're seeing 2 AT paid to pull that berry punch, or to drop that berry punch, stealing that Spoonie. We're going to belly flop right away. I think there was an opportunity here. I think he could have gone for the confront with the Spoonie, and then during the face-off belly flopped. To kill that Spoonie into that Dance Fever. Either way, though, he may not have wanted to get that double right away. He might be thinking to himself, well, I don't need to double right away. I don't need to shove my friends home. I can just sit here and score and keep this little block that I've got. I'm denying my opponent their colors, so I'm in a good spot. And in chat a second ago, as mentioned, I got distracted for a moment there. Gevlin, who was commenting earlier, who was saying he was the presence guy, saying Celestia is a very scary player with really, really creative decks. That's something I always really like. That's what I always try to go for. If I'm not winning in an interesting way, I don't really care. So I respect super creative type players. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he could do. He's saying also that he believes that he's gotten top 16 every nationals so far.
Well, that's cool.
So I don't know a few out-of-state players as well as I should, sadly. I've been to Gen Con once. We were both at Gen Con once. Critical made tops 4.
Yeah, semifinalist.
I missed it by 1. I got 17. So I at the very least was able to go on and play every other tournament the following day and win prizes in those. But because of that, I was not afforded the opportunity to meet a lot of these people and get to know them by name and face and style and everything.
It would have been really, really cool if Nation and I were able to pull it through and get to the finals together.
That would have been
especially if I beat him.
A heck of a game.
Yeah.
Games. That would have been an exceptionally long match.
It would have. Yeah. Me and Nation are both very meticulous players.
I've seen you both stare at the same turn for 10, 15 minutes before.
I would hate to play him friendly-wise if we were like, well, we're going to try and win, but friendly. Probably be just like yours and mine.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, Factory Jack. Oh, we're seeing...
okay, Factory Jack comes out, Time Loop comes out, so we've entered our other colors.
Yep. All right, so we're seeing white, purple, orange, which I was actually thinking on, oh, that actually has a lot of potential.
This is another thing that I was kind of playing around with just last night. Purple orange, we know what it does. We saw it earlier today. Time Loop, very scary. Factor Jack, very scary. Orange white.
Uh-oh. Is that printed? It might be printed.
Yes, I think it's printed.
Ah, that's rough.
So upon that...
very tricky.
Upon that opalescence flipping, banish an opposing friend with 2 or less power. 2 or less printed power, I believe it is. So that Soren is gone. I believe that just won our left player, our Chrysalis player, 2
Spicy
points.
2 points.
Spicy.
Like, usually, if I fight Scootaloo, I actually want to just. I usually try and just chip at the resources that Scootaloo has, because
The less they
Two
have
rough
moved,
things.
the less they can do.
yeah, the flip condition, and also the need for a lot of friends. Luna is kind of like Luna. You don't need a lot of friends on the board. You just need the friends in your hand.
Yeah.
And that's why Gabby is in the Bluna build right now. Meanwhile, Scootaloo, you need your friends, and if it's just like, well, I'm pink-white, die.
You got a Cloud Chaser in hand, another Soren. I believe that's a
Hey, a
Tyrix
tank.
Rain tank.
I'm glad
Okay.
people have looked at Tank, because Tank
Good
is
card, good card.
yeah, it's really nice with the Scootaloo.
I think
It
I saw another Lyra possibly. Baby Pinky, Pinkie Pie Green.
and then we're seeing the Spitfire. Something that Spitfire is a card that I kind of underestimated early on, but it's really solid.
I believe. Let me look this up just to confirm.
I
Let me look at
neglected
this
the
opal.
hasty applications with Bluna, embarrassingly enough. I was just like, oh wait, yeah, with Bluna this card is great. That's an okay hand.
Oh, okay.
You got Gyro, man. You got
Yeah,
this.
no. Chaos. The opal's effect is not printed power, and Final Sight is saying that he could have fed the Berry Punch to Soren to save him.
No.
There would not have been a window for that to happen. As soon as the flip happened, those effects would have been created. There would not have been a chance to respond to them before turn players went off, which was we named him Tried Guy because he tried real hard to give us his name. So he makes his decision and banishes something before that happens. So Celestia would have had to know that that was going to be the flip beforehand.
Getting a little lag here.
Yeah, we're slowing down a bit.
Hopefully it catches back up.
Got Celestia moving to his own problem there. Finally, he feels confident in his pink on the board. A little scary if that Lyra blows up. He's only got one pink, so it's a little rough. So I'd find confronting his own trading traditions there interesting in case he gets flipped away. That said, I think he just wants to get the points, stay ahead while he can. Aggro, gotta go fast.
Yep.
And he was able to move all three of those characters, Lyra and Scootaloo, by exhausting them with Scootaloo's ability, and or actually the berry was already there. I'm sorry, I was thinking of it was the Soren that had the friendship counter. We see a Gyro come out. We're searching for.
This is a very peculiar deck.
Yeah, I see. Is that an Aloysius?
That would be strange.
I see a rolling. God, I should just not say. I can't tell what I'm looking at half the time.
Okay, that is.
Cheerleader,
it's gonna work. That's coming through. You might. Is that it's gonna work? Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just
Okay.
said it.
Yeah.
So we see it's gonna work. Come out.
That's a. I haven't seen any troublemakers.
That is true.
Anywhere. Maybe it's just like a straight mid-range purple.
That'd be interesting.
Orange.
That's kind of something that I think people don't competitively go for very often anymore. Usually I find the mid-range players are kind of the more, a little more casual players. I don't see people going for, going to a big event like this and they're like, okay, this is what I put my time, money, heart, and soul into. It is a mid-range deck that does everything a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. Unless you're talking about farm, in which case you are very competitive because you have probably a $300 deck at minimum.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah, no, I don't see a whole lot of these super high level players that everybody knows names of that regularly make top 16, regularly top 4, top 2, win regional tournaments. That kind of player go for mid-rangey things very often. I think the closest probably is farm, and even so, that's kind of its own thing.
Yeah, it's kind of its own beast.
Sort of a strategy that doesn't really exist in other games. I hear people say a lot that there's aggro, there's control, there's combo, and it's like this game kind of has another one that is farm because it does try to control, but it's also going fast. It's scoring points quickly. It's definitely not very combo-y, but it's sort of in the middle, but not in a mid-range handle everything kind of way. It just kind of ignores what the opponent is doing.
Wait, maybe Celestia only has 2 points actually. Thinking about it, because the Scootaloo was exhausted.
Oh, true.
My mistake. All right, and he got his spoons again. This is a very peculiar deck. I can appreciate it, though.
I like this. It's pretty cool. I do like that Spoonie card.
And he's using the Scootaloo ability to potentially DFO next turn.
Oh, it's funny.
It's gonna be. It would be pretty cool if this this innovative deck won, because I haven't seen anything like it really.
So yeah, we got Spoonie out doing a lot of damage to Celestia, I think, because again, Pink Blue really likes its cheap cards. It likes its 1-cost, especially its 2-cost cards. That Spoonie taxing those really hard.
Tank, not a bad choice. Then
Interesting.
You can, maybe fear Spoonie and then be able to DFO next turn. Maybe. It's still, well, actually, he has to do a single face-off. That's what he's going for.
Let's see, what do we got in hand there? So Cloud Chaser is a Sorin. We've got a Spitfire in hand. Pink Blue Spitfire that can fear. By the way, there was Pinkie Pie growing up still. TRX Rain, I think. Alright, spending 3, I want to say. I'm guessing that Spitfire is coming out. Yep. Probably gonna get that either Spoonie or the Hooves. Hard to say. They're both good targets.
Or the Factory Jack.
Yeah, they're all good targets right now. Was that a tier train he just threw away?
Yeah, it might be. I don't know.
Actually, he hasn't seen any troublemakers from his opponent, so that's not the worst call.
Yeah, he might actually not need to, because when you see these types, when you see purple at all, when you see certain types of cards, you kind of just assume.
And there's the last Spoonie, just flipped away. So we got Celestia confronting, winning that face-off, put him up 2 points.
Yep, it's looking pretty good for that one.
Ooh, interesting. I was looking at that card just last night, too.
It's very weird to see the resurgence of these older problems, because I've kind of almost considered them obsolete. I rarely consider them. But there's still some fantastic ones, you know. Social Network?
Social Obligations.
Social Obligations.
Pretty fantastic.
Still
Score
a great
extra
one.
points by exhausting your main. A white card, pretty easy to confront if you want to face off. And your main's there, exhaust it, score a point. One that I really like is, can't think of the name at the moment. It was from that Ring of Crystal Games problems, where if you have 3 colors at the problem, you can confront your main to do X, Y, and Z. The purple one allowed you to, if you confronted and exhausted your main there with 3 colors, score or gain an AT. The white one allowed you to score a point. And 3 colors is just common enough today that if you're controlling, if you can keep that problem on the board for a little bit, that's not the worst.
I've considered it.
I've thought about it. I don't really fall to it very often, but I think it's worth considering in
the one that gives you an
builds.
AT or the one that gives you a score.
Either one.
Like both of them are great.
Yeah. Old problems.
The only thing that's unattractive about it is the 5. Like the 5 is really unattractive.
That's true. A five on your opponent's side, especially with aggro running around like it is. Not at all hard to confront.
Yeah, you want your opponent to have to maybe wait a turn.
Yeah. You always want to be able to buy a turn, so you can either beat them there, confront, have them confront once, have them confront once, and then you get to double, or just make it so if you double, they can't double back.
The Scootaloo is actually not too bad of a choice if you believe that the meta will be not as control-y.
Yeah.
Just because I think the Scootaloo might win out a lot of the time, because it's like, well, DFO, well, I spend less, so I'll have more AT to use my destruction to slow you down, so then I can go faster.
Very true. Let's see. I'm going to pull up a list of some of these older problems here just to kind of poke through them and see what's out there that I think is still all right.
I wonder if there's any players that are zany enough, I'll say, to run, to have a bunch of the dilemmas, but run fire when ready and just go for that gambit.
I really like that. I really like that thing.
Because, like...
Score 1, score 5.
It could screw you over. It could also benefit you massively on the aggro, so it's kind of 50-50. But against control,
nothing but fantastic.
Yeah, nothing but fantastic. That's kind of why I like. If I were an aggro player, I would definitely consider that card.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of scary still because it's just like, oh, but what if
your
my
opponent's
opponent...
got if your opponent has the T-Rex Rain in hand or whatever, and it's an aggro fight, well, you just gave him like 4 points.
4 extra points than usual.
Avalanche is a fun old problem. Purple-orange, when a player confronts this, that player's opponent discards a card, so that can hit you. But if you're purple-orange, you're probably controlling. If you're controlling and you can just sit on that problem, you're just attacking your opponent's hand slowly. It's pretty nifty.
Napcakes.
Drained dry. Opponents, well, everyone has to pay an additional 1 to draw.
Ununicorned is one that I always keep in mind.
Ununicorned, I think about a lot.
Ununicorned and we're seeing I think a standard confront. Oh no, it's just his turn, maybe.
Okay, so we're getting a confront up top.
We're getting a tad distracted, but okay, so he scored a point. Ooh.
I had a little bit of a glitch there for a second. We did not see a confront down bottom last turn, did we?
Yeah.
Because we need 10 on this side.
Yeah.
And we only had 9.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, we did not see a confront. So we're seeing a confront on Celestia's side.
Wait,
though, I think.
Because those are exhausted, it doesn't matter because they have stubborn. So.
But wouldn't it be 2, 5, 8, and then Spoonie was also exhausted for whatever reason?
Oh yeah, that's right. Never mind.
So I think we've got these points correct here. Actually, can you read that bottom scorecard there?
It looks like 4.
I'll go with 4. That looks like 4.
Okay.
Perfect. Yeah, a 4. A very good point that you scored.
We got this.
Alrighty, we're exhausting that AJ for that AT. We're exhausting that castle for the AT.
Yo, cheerly spectacle. I like this. I like the spectacle. I tried to cram it in.
Card. I always find that there's a couple other things that do its job just a little bit better.
Like many songs, you think to yourself, "Man, this would be fantastic if it were immediate."
Yeah, very true.
But that's it. They're really, really cheap, but they're not immediate. So then you're sad.
All right, we see. I'm searching for hearts as strong as horses. It lets you bring back a card from your discard with 3 or more power and put it into your hand.
Yes.
The opponent discards 2?
Yep.
Or
+3 on a card.
+3 power?
Yeah,
or
+3 power, and I think it's on a card.
On a card. Yeah. Interesting. So that can hit a main.
Yeah, that I know it can. I know it's either character or a card. In which case, it can also hit a troublemaker.
That's interesting. I'm suspicious on that one. I feel like it's probably character.
Yeah.
So we got that gyro up top there. There's a 7 on the back of that top problem, by the way. So we got 3 pink, 2 blue to confront, and then a 7 on the back side of that. And that is a 3 bonus problem. So there's a kind of a lot at stake here at the moment. That halfway across Equestria, that is our left player's problem, though, could give Celestia a little bit of trouble by shoving something back, making that face-off harder to win. We see F-Stop come out. Interesting.
This is a very mid-range deck by Try Guy.
Yeah, this is probably the most I think I've ever seen. It's doing a little bit of everything. It's not doing too bad at it.
It's very much I gain and you pay more. So it's just just trying to focus on deficit.
Yeah.
And spoons can be rough. It can be very rough. I think it's pretty rough on. I think it's pretty rough on. It's rough on aggro. It's rough on F-stop kind of based control. Because your
we're seeing that
recursion
Heart's horses come out.
buffing is main to confront.
Looks like it. No, we're freezing up a little. Oh, we're good. Yeah, so we're getting that confront on the bottom there.
Probably check on chat.
Oh yeah, let's see what chat's got going on. Nope, same as it was.
Okay.
I already drew it. No, I already drew it. Remember, I moved up. Never mind. Anyways, you are
Got a bit of a disagreement there, looks like.
2, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Alrighty, let's see. It looks like... Is that a Cloud Chaser that might come out?
You just have a fashion week there.
Is that a Fashion Week that was in his hand?
Yep.
Was that right? Okay. I thought I saw that in his opening hand. I'm like, that's a weird choice. Are we seeing a combo? I think this is a combo. Trading Traditions and Changeling Pretender, that's with Fashion Week, absolutely a combo. Nope, I couldn't have been more wrong. Alrighty, Cloud Chaser coming out, gonna reduce some costs. He's had that in hand for a while. It's a little interesting to see that come out this late. Admittedly, it's still kind of early in the game points-wise. Time-wise, less so.
Yeah, he may be just attempting to play his opponent's game a little bit here and be like, okay, well,
Try
I
to
need
keep
to...
up a bit. We got that Soren coming out for free. Had its cost reduced by 1. Is that a Snips and Snails in hand on his side as well? Is that what that was?
Yeah, that was the Snips and Snails.
Alright, so we got a Snips and Snails Problem Solvers in hand, so that can replace a problem for 2 AT. Pretty handy. In a non-control matchup, doesn't look like that's going to be doing a whole heck of a lot, though. But it is still a 2 cost for 3 power friend, so it's not a bad thing to have at all.
Definitely. This is just a pretty interesting game overall. I'm fascinated by this pretty much just mid-range. It has control elements. It has F-Stop. It has Cheerly and Doctor Who's and such. But
Map Cakes, we saw that Opalescence earlier too.
it's not Troublemaker-based, so it's hard to call it control. So it's like, well, if it doesn't have Troublemakers, it must be mid-range. But, I mean, it's possible. It's possible to play control without any Troublemakers.
True. What did we draw there? What was that?
I couldn't
Yeah,
quite
can't
tell.
quite catch what that is. Oh, I think that's I can't recall her name.
We're also
Purple White
getting a-
Friend 2-2. Again, I'm not gonna say it because I'm just blind and I keep getting some of these cards wrong. So I'm
Yeah.
just gonna wait until we play stuff.
Let's see. Do we know if
I
there's a
see.
lunch break this year?
I believe so.
Okay.
I'm almost certain. I'm not entirely sure when that is happening.
Yeah, it's probably in the middle. If there's 10 rounds, then it'd be, you know. Oh, so I think Celestia is at 6. If you confront it. Eesh, we've been a little
think
off
you're
today.
correct.
This
Yeah,
day.
we've, they've been kind of taking their times on their turns.
All right, so we're seeing it's gonna work. We're gonna banish the that thing, and he's gonna draw a card, I
We're
believe.
getting rid of that Spitfire.
I don't. Oh wait, it has to hit the discard. Never mind.
Yep. So we're not getting the draw off that Spitfire.
Yep. That Spitfire is really interesting. There's a lot of really interesting hit the discard pile cards.
Hasty, draw when it dies, experience, and you may frighten a friend.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of text crammed onto one card. It's like a Yu-Gi-Oh level card over there.
Yeah. So if Celestia Friend has 2, nope, never mind. He's actually in a rough spot. He's been
looking like it.
It's looking like the Tried guy has been chipping away at a lot of his options, and that Spoons is really messing him up. Like he's like, I need destruction. I need to stop the Spoons.
Thankfully for him, he's got that Cloud Chaser there that's helping mitigate that a little bit, but that's still only 1 a turn.
Yeah, because it's like, wow, it'd be nice to play this dilemma and and then play this thing and then this thing in a DFO, but I can't.
He'd normally be playing probably 2 to 3 cards a turn. This is kind of dropping him down to 1, maybe 2. It's really kind of slowing down his game.
This
a
game,
bit.
yeah, this game is slowed down to a standstill almost. So he's sacking.
Eating that Berry Punch, interesting. Eating the Berry Punch to get the wreck to play that Snips and Snails, because he only had 2 pink before. Well, the Berry Punch was on the board.
Yeah.
So he met 3 by giving that Soren an extra 2 power by eating a friend, by eating that berry punch. Allows him to snip and snails that problem. Probably a pretty good problem to get rid of. At the beginning of a face-off, that would have allowed our left player to
Very dangerous because
shove a problem home.
Could flip something like that. Could flip blackmail. I'd almost have
true.
accepted that problem and just tried to play through. Just because in this kind of situation, blackmail is scary. That
Very
card
true.
is also scary. It gives you just more AT.
So he may now exhaust his main to gain an AT every turn.
And then just move it up at you regardless.
And then since Scootaloo does not, you don't exhaust friends to move them. You move them, and if you do, exhaust them. Our left player can exhaust his main, gain the AT, move it, and then exhausted. It's already exhausted. Doesn't matter. So that's probably a worse problem to have than the one that was there.
Yeah, if it's only a little bit easier, and it does give him the opportunity to maybe have a good DFO and score some points.
Yeah, hopefully.
But
Hopefully for him, at least.
he really needs something to he needs something to get rid of the silver spoons because that's really bad. And he needs to get rid of yeah, he needs a what's it called?
I animated there.
Yeah.
Talking about his board state there. Okay, so we got Cloud Chaser at home, which is fine. She wasn't doing a whole heck of a lot up at a problem anyway. She was exhausted all the time, even when she was helping out. It was only 1 power. Not the biggest loss.
Yeah, no, not at all. I'd do it.
Shoving her up to the problem just because you can.
And he may be able to confront it. Probably be nice.
I believe so. It looks like it. He's short on the pink. No, he's got the pink for this turn at least still because of the berry punch sack.
Yeah.
Yep, that's why it's striking before. You banished him, and I'm like, I need what?
Alrighty. So tried guy, he this is a really weird game.
So did we get that?
appreciate
Did
it.
Celestia get that confront just now? Is it
I
still
believe
his turn?
so.
It's hard to tell when people are. Okay, he's gaining AT, so okay. Celestia passed turn. That'll be a score for him. I believe he should be at 7 now. So our left player's a little behind on points, but in a real strong place board-wise.
Yeah, it seems like he wants to do f-stop stuff as well as confront.
But he's having a little bit of trouble keeping up and doing all that. He's not quite gaining the AT it looks like he wants to be gaining.
Yeah.
I imagine there's a couple castles in there. There's definitely 3 factory jacks, possibly 3 paper twies.
I think that was the 10-minute mark. Oh, it's time. Oh boy. So it's gonna.
That did not feel like it was as long as it was.
Yeah, definitely not.
So I think this might be game for Celestia right here, if that is indeed time.
Yeah, if it's time. Yeah, I don't see enough options.
You won't. Is that better?
Ow.
A tad stern.
A little forward, but I can't say I disagree.
I'm
Also,
not-
there's a
that's-
T-Rex Rain in hand, and that hurts. If that
Hold on, sir. I mean, there's the spoons, and I'm not seeing that really mean. There's a
The Deadpool
pie.
pinky?
Yeah, there's a Deadpool
Dead-
pinky
Deadpool
doing
pie.
a little dance, making a little.
strong play. It's a really good move.
All right, well he's.
Okay, so we got options still. I think. There is a T-Rex Rain in hand, and that can be confronted by Soren or by that the Holiday Spirit plus something else. Those cards are being taxed by that spoons right now, so we wouldn't be able to do that all at once. Okay, ooh. Putting that Napcakes on top of Celestia's deck.
He has
Or,
holiday. So he's good.
He's got Holiday Spirit in hand. Fashion Week doesn't have any targets
wow.
at the moment. Or no, I'm sorry. There's the gyros right there. So actually, we're flipping away that Soren. That was a good move. That'll score him a point. Uses Napkicks, put the Soren on top of the deck, gets rid of his pink on the board, which will make him play that Holiday Spirit. So that'll be 3 AT, an extra AT wasted. flipping away that Soren, which is kind of a powerhouse for pink-blue, getting a 1 flip on that setup for the Fashion Week, pretty much guaranteeing that Fashion Week win, which just scored him an extra point, putting him over the line at 6 now as well.
Yeah.
If we do have those numbers correct, I think there's a chance Celestia might be at 6 instead of that 7. Because we missed a little bit there for a moment.
Oh, well.
We're moving up that factory to confront. It looks like he's going to try to set up to win a face-off here.
All right. So, what I'm seeing is...
Needs to tank the tank, he says. It may be true.
looking... Oh, Tough Guy's at 7. That's the thing.
Oh, with that confront just now.
Yeah. But...
oh, yeah, it's, I forgot that problem switched out. I was like, that ain't 10. He didn't confront. No, he did, though. So,
Yeah.
no, it is...
So, he
I
has
think
Holiday...
it is a tied game currently.
And-
Holiday Spirit is out, but that is a 2-cost card, so that Spoons will be taxing it up to 3.
Yeah, I think as long as he can single confront. Unless we're wrong about Friend Celestia's score and he's actually at 6. In which case...
And then I got one last turn because of Cloud Chaser. I'm at 7.
Yeah.
It would be a tie.
Okay.
I
All right.
I have to, unless I can do something else.
Okay, so yeah, he's saying I would have been 7, you would have been at 5, so that would have been time. But since it's tied now, I think.
I'm just seeing if there's anything I can do. Otherwise.
If he can single, then... I'm confused on the point. Maybe we're wrong about the points.
I think we are.
Because I don't think Friend Celestia wants to just have the tie, because the tie is not great.
He would be hesitating to tie, which means it seems like he might be trying to figure out if he can score 2 points to put him over. Otherwise, if the rules are the same as they have been in the past,
Yeah.
a loss would be better than a tie. We got Celestia dropping the Holiday Spirit.
I guess. Yeah, that's all I got. That puts me at 8. I was at 6 before the Soren thing, and then I went, okay, and I go to 7. I asked you on my turn if you were at
Okay, so Celestia is arguing that he's at 7 here. We might have a
hour or when? When before I did my thing with the.
disagreement here.
Oh, I apologize if I said it wrong. If you want to rewind and we redo it, I'm okay with it. Please be careful in the future. I'm sorry. I should have also been keeping more track, but at the same time. No, you're right. I apologize.
So it looks like there was a disagreement on the scoring. I think Celestia may have taken it. I'm not sure if it's because of that. It's actually hard to say at the moment. It seems like there was a disagreement on the scoring. I think Celestia ended up taking it. We can see what gets.
Oh, can it see that?
I can see what gets marked here.
Yeah.
But I think Celestia might have had his scorecard in the wrong place or something like that. I think he might have had it down a point, which accidentally gave a little bit of misinformation. So I think our left player might have made some moves that he would have done differently.
Yeah.
But he was saying, yeah, no, confronting